What's going on, guys? Shadow Band Productions checking in to you from the Shadow Band Studios, reporting live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And right here, not this scumbag Tedros, but I want you to pay attention in detail to what this young American lady traitor that turned on us says from the WHO. Pay attention to detail what she says, ladies and gentlemen, because folks, the people that are trying to say this is over, the people that are trying to say, oh man, they're opening back up, and for anyone who ain't aware of the control they're trying to take in a contact tracing and invasion of privacy, just listen to what she says, folks. And this scumbag too.
The restrictions are eased too early, you may be back in a situation where lockdowns have to be reimposed, and that again has an increased impact and potentially an even greater impact on livelihoods. So I think they're the real difficult decisions that all governments are faced with right now, and there are no easy answers, and I think we have to recognize that. Each government is dealing with a very different context of epidemiology, of expectations of communities, of the epidemiologic context. What we want to see is countries taking a step-by-step, data-driven approach that allows a country to move steadily towards a new normal, towards a new way of living that allows lives and livelihoods to return. But at the same time, not doing it so quickly that there's a rebound in cases which results in further lockdowns, which may be even more damaging to those lives and livelihoods that governments are trying to protect.
Yeah, data-driven, which means evasion
If I might supplement what, in addition to the transmission that may be happening in the country and the numbers of cases and deaths that are identified, there's a number of other factors that must be considered, which include the ability of the country to identify the virus. So whether it's a workforce of contact tracers to help find the virus, whether it's the workforce in your healthcare facilities and your frontline facilities to be able to deal with patients, looking at the numbers of beds available in hospitals for mild patients, for severe patients. What does that look like in terms of your ability to handle an increased burden if case numbers increase again? Making sure that if workplaces are open, if schools are opened, that those places are ready to receive students again, ready to receive people back at work, where you can still manage physical distancing, where you can still manage the ability to keep people physically separated but let them work. It requires having the entire population engaged and informed to understand that this needs to happen in a slow, measured, and controlled way. And as the DG has said and has said repeatedly, this will take some time, and this is nowhere near over. And this is nowhere near over. And we need everyone to be mentally prepared that we have some more to go. And that may require being more patient and having to deal with some of these measures that are difficult to deal with. So it isn't just case numbers and deaths alone. It's a combination of factors that need to be looked at so that a risk-based approach is taken to lift some of these measures.
Yeah, thank you.
Just so you know, guys, this was April 27th, just the other day, okay? It's nowhere near over. Truth in plain sight. Let's get into it.
This is newsman Kent Brockman vowing I will debunk this so-called miracle. The idiotic things people believe in.
Idiotic things people believe in.
Now, stay tuned for your lucky lotto numbers. It's your turn for sure.
Now we'll set up a command post on the outskirts of town. We don't want to cause a panic among the civilian population, so let's keep a low profile. Lock down the entire county. As of this moment, it's under 100% quarantine. Doctors, we need to talk.
You sure got here fast.
We move fast. The CDC contacted us immediately after you contacted them.
They contacted you
As a senior medical officer in this unit, yes. The CDC recommended full quarantine to protect the other areas.
Now, the CDC didn't even have a diagnosis for this thing, and yet you're already in here with a quarantine?
Dr. Green, I'm going to have to ask you and Dr. Stevens to back us up over this quarantine. You know probably better than anybody else how important it is that we stop the spread of this virus before it escalates, correct?
True. Yeah.
You know, Brian, with skills like that, we could probably use you in surveillance.
The quarantine will be lifted as soon as it is deemed safe to travel into and out of the county. Authority for the quarantine is guaranteed by the United States Military Code of Justice Quarantine and Containment Act. Any questions or requests can be directed to the Public Relations Officer located in the Mobile Command Center. Again, please do not be alarmed. Go about your business as usual. When the quarantine is lifted, a general announcement will be made. Please do not be alarmed. Go about your business as usual. The United States Army thanks you for your cooperation.
I don't understand. If they don't know what it is, how come they want to keep us pinned up like animals ourselves? So we're supposed to sit here in our own little incubators waiting to come down with it?
Again, we have to let the government do what they can
To solve our problems? Like the way they solve things in New Orleans? Like that? Solve it like 3 Mile Island? Like AIDS?
You're blowing things out of proportion, Clay. Let me go home, do some more research, see if I can't come up with some answers for you.
Residents of Diablo County, please be hereby notified that as of 0900 hours, by executive order of Acting Commander General Matthews, the entirety of Diablo County has been placed under quarantine. Please do not be alarmed. Please go about your business as usual. These actions are taken for the general safety of the residents of the county, and the quarantine will be lifted as soon as it is deemed safe to travel into and out of the county. Authority for the quarantine is guaranteed by the United States Military Code of Justice Quarantine and Containment Act. Any questions or requests can be directed to the Public Relations Officer located in the Mobile Command Center. Again, please do not be alarmed. Go about your business as usual. When the quarantine is lifted, a general announcement will be made.
Well, soldiers out there should be out fighting in the Gulf, not bothering civilians.
And I hear that.
Shit's killing my business.
You hear that?
The page cannot be displayed.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
What is going on?
Can we help you, Dr. Stevens?
You know who I am?
You need something?
Yeah, I need to get into town. I need to figure out why I can't get in touch with anyone.
Communications, both wired and wireless, have been temporarily shut down.
Excuse me?
Communications, both wired and wireless, have been temporarily shut down.
By whose authority?
Ma'am, if you need to contact someone, we...
By whose authority? Let me ask you this, G.I. Joe. Have the communications hanging from your belt been temporarily shut down?
No, ma'am.
Rumor is that you have the vaccine. That's what it's saying around town anyway. So you guys are developing a vaccine? I hate to take a rumor with a grain of salt and all that, but you know. Why are you? Developing a vaccine?
Ryan, you've got to understand that what happens inside this tent has to stay inside the tent. There's a lot of rumors going around. You
I
understand?
promise I won't tell anyone, Captain. I'm offering myself, Captain. That's a test case. Test it on me. No one will be the wiser.
Give me your arm.
Is this gonna hurt?
You never had a shot that didn't. It will only hurt for a minute.
A minute. That was it. Thank you, Captain.
Now, everybody, I want you to pay close attention to that part and remember it. Keep that guy's face in mind of what just happened to that little boy. Remember that.
Oh my God, you sick son. Oh, stupid.
They're not testing preparedness, they're testing a weapon.
What?
A biological weapon. And a perfect one. I mean, look how fast this virus is moving.
The U.S. government's not going to test weapons on its own people.
Really? Well, you better believe it, baby. Because the Army's taking over.
You better believe it, baby. Because the Army's taking over.
Wait. Brian.
Yes. He volunteered to test the new vaccine. He volunteered to test the new vaccine.
And?
Obviously, we weren't very successful. Yet.
But you're working on it?
Well, that's Captain Riley's department.
He looks worse than the others. Could be a genetic mutation or...
Or what?
It could be the vaccine mixing with the virus, accelerating the process and making it worse.
It could be the vaccine mixing with the virus, accelerating the process and making it worse.
Maybe a wolf? There's no bite marks? Nothing. Maybe poison?
Yesterday they were full of life. First that thing with the boy, and now this. It's like this never used to happen here. Who would just kill 33 sheep?
We just killed 33 sheep.
Be on your guard. Be alert.
For you know not when the time will come.
Gospel of Mark, 1333.
It's the Gospel of Mark, 1333.
Right here, guys, Dr. Neptune and Dr. Stephen Baker. Hear them out, and links will be in the description.
Meet Darren. Darren's 38 years old. Darren is 300 pounds overweight. Darren has chronic COPD. He's got high blood pressure, and he's diabetic. Darren was going to die at some point very soon, regardless of whether coronavirus killed him or not. But now, in order to make this a bigger deal, we have to report Darren's death as due to coronavirus.
In Illinois, which is right across the river from us, the governor's director of health, I forget her name, I put the video on Common Sense Health just the other day. She said, let me be clear about deaths with COVID-19. She says, if you let's just give you an example. If when you die, if you are diagnosed and have COVID-19, if you have coronavirus, then you are going to be labeled as death by coronavirus. She said, even if you're in hospice, you got heart disease, you got 4 or 5 days to live. If you swab and we find that you are dead, even though you might have had a heart attack, but you're positive for COVID-19 test, they are going to toe tag you at death by coronavirus, which is, first of all, is wrong. It perpetuates fear. It puts doctors in really bad positions, and it's just a lie to cause us to continue to stay inside, to continue to be freaked out. What do you think? People want to know this stuff because we do know that now that this vaccine, or not this vaccine, but this virus is definitely not a respiratory issue like we originally thought. And that's why doctors are getting such great results by using things like IVC, using zinc, using that stuff that keeps the heme and the iron together and free radicals from doing the damage to the heart and the lungs, which and neither one of us are also saying that if a vaccine comes out, you shouldn't get one. We're not telling you to or to not to, but what we're saying is you better certainly get educated and get informed. I mean, that's the whole thing with any medical procedure, is that you need to know the risk versus the benefit, right? I mean, how many people didn't know the risk versus the benefit of opioids and now are dead because of that? How many people didn't know the risk or benefits of, the Zantac medication that has been taken off the shelves because it caused cancer? And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I would like to, Dr. Baker, I'd like to go down the road a little bit with you with your Project 180 that you created. And I'd like to talk about vaccines a little bit, because that's the big thing we're hearing. We're hearing right now that there's no normal until there's a vaccine. And we're hearing the World Health Organization say, hey, these antibody tests are not effective. Just because you have antibodies doesn't mean that you are immune, which goes against everything I learned in immunology, by the way. It really truly does. So I'm trying to make sense of this new study in immunology that they're talking about, because as far as I understand, when you get exposed to something, your immune system, you go through the innate immune system, you go through the adaptive immune system, the virome and the microbiome, and then your body develops an antibody to it. An antibody is something that when you get exposed again, it knows how to fight it. But the World Health Organization is coming out saying that, the antibodies, just because you have them, doesn't mean that you're immune, which is really weird, by the way. And supposedly the vaccine is the only way to truly get immune to this thing, which is what the damn vaccine does. It causes the body to make antibodies. It doesn't really go through true immune function, but we'll explain that. And then I think it's really interesting how, like in Missouri and other states that I'm affiliated with, that I have offices in, the hospitals are looking for people that have positive antibody tests that have been through coronavirus, COVID-19, so they can pull their blood, use the serum to inject into sick people and get them well. So I know that's a lot of information, but can we go down that road now a little bit? Are you good with that?
Oh, am I good with vaccines? Yeah, I'm good with vaccines. I can do that. Am I an expert on vaccines? Well, let me ask, if you spend over 150 hours studying something in order to put it together in a narrative to explain it to people very well, that's check one. Number two, if you've spent over 60 to 70 hours talking to PhDs, experts, MDs, and doctors about one specific topic, and then if you've taken your 4+ years of school to become a doctor and you're understanding how the body works and put that into all these conversations and understand the body and how it operates and heals, and then put it into the context of vaccines, I would argue that that might make you a reasonable resource for vaccine conversations.
I would agree.
Cool, let's go.
Okay.
So let's just sit on the coronavirus vaccine for a second. Like I said, it's been around for a while. They've been testing it. And the reason why experts, meaning people who are actually in the labs, not the ones in the media, because they're not the expert, just in case you didn't know, the real experts have been saying, do not ever give this vaccine to a human. Here's why. When they did the studies in the lab, they have two groups, right? Every good scientific experiment has a control group, which means that control group did not get the vaccine, and they have the group that got the vaccine. These are animal studies, but animal studies are recognized as the gold standard when you're trying to figure something out. Mouse studies for a number of different reasons. And I sat down with a woman named Dr. Teresa Deischer, who literally does a ton of stuff with mice, and she explained why it's so legit. So they give one set of mice the vaccine for the coronavirus, and the other set does not get it, right? Experimental group, control group. Well, once the both groups were exposed to the wild virus, the ones that were vaccinated died. and the ones that were not vaccinated were fine. And so as they go through these studies like this, these guys are the ones saying, hey, do not do this vaccine on humans. And that's why it never came out with SARS and MERS. It's not that they didn't have it. So as we go into this whole thing with Tony Fauci and we've got to wait for the safety trials. No, that's not what's going on right now. There are no safety trials. There's never been a legitimate safety study in any vaccines whatsoever. And let's take a look at the HPV vaccine. Their safety trial, in case you guys didn't know this, they took one HPV vaccine and they compared it to another one, right? So GlaxoSmithKline, I can't pronounce all the poisonous names, sorry. One of them compares it to another drug company, and they go, ours didn't kill any more kids than theirs did, ours must be safe. That's literally the standard when it comes to safety trials for vaccines. Or what they'll do is they'll take their vaccine, and then instead of comparing it to a saline solution, they will compare it to an exact same thing, aluminum, formaldehyde, all the stuff except for the antigen. So it just doesn't have the virus or the bacteria in it. And when it kills the same amount of people as the control group, they say, well, it must be safe. That's what it normally looks like. Now, what do you think it's going to look like when we have a pandemic and the whole world, please, give it to me, is begging for this thing? You think that we're going to sit there and really do safety studies? They're going to use the same exact vaccine that's been dangerous for years, tweak it a tiny bit, and then they're intentionally watch the level of deception, because remember, deception is best swallowed when delivered slowly. They're going to tell you that they're doing safety studies, and they're going to wait, because they could give it to you right now, but if they give it to you now, the average American consumer would say, whoa, wait a second. They only did safety studies for a month, and they would question it. But if they can, quote, do safety studies until the fall, that makes it more legitimate. You'll buy into their BS. Not to mention, watch the timing, brother. Come fall, aka cold and flu season, which we know is a bunch of BS. Now it's going to be cold, flu, and corona season. What better timing to come out with a vaccine than when this virus rears its ugly head again, because it will do it over and over and over again every single year for the rest of our lives.
First of all, wow. Second of all, let me take a couple things that you said and just kind of make it come back around with it. I had a conversation with Bobby Kennedy a while ago. It was last summer, and we were talking about vaccines, because he's got his children's health initiative that he's doing, and he was talking from the stage how there's never truly been a true double-blind controlled placebo study on safety or efficacy of a vaccine. And he $100,000 of my own money on the line and said, if any of you can show me a double-blind controlled placebo study that shows that a vaccine is safe and effective, I'll give you $100,000. And he says, don't you think if there was some information, someone would have brought that to our attention? And he still has his $100,000, and that's 2 years later. So I think that's very interesting, number one. And number two, I think it's very interesting how you put in perspective the fact that because of MERS and because of SARS, we have been, as a government, as a society, the powers that be have been working on vaccines for that. And their studies came out and said, do not give these to humans because it will cause them harm. Is that what you're saying the study showed?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I was told by multiple PhDs and biochemists that understand this stuff more than I ever will. I'm giving you what the experts are saying when I say that.
Okay, guys, if you didn't just hear that, I hope you did. Replay it if you have to. Yes, Dr. Stephen Baker, if you want to look into his, this dude has so much research on the flu vaccine, so many different vaccines. I definitely am taking his words. These are the type of doctors that I like, the ones that are real, the ones that ain't scared to open their mouth. If you remember, I did share Dr. Neptune a couple weeks ago when he first came out. The link will be pinned in the comment section if you want to go watch his full video. But if you want to look at Dr. Stephen Baker's work, and research that he has put out. It's completely free. It's called Project 180. I advise you to look into it. This dude has done massive research, massive proof to prove that not only this CV-19 one would hurt people when they start punching people with it, but that they already have it, but all the other ones too. And that is why I'm sharing this. Yes, I do still think way too many doctors are coming out of the woodwork. They're trying to chase fame. I don't trust none of them for the most part. But this and a couple of the females that came forward, I do have a good feeling about. But I'll be open and honest with you. I don't agree with everything these dudes are saying. I only agree with everything they're saying about vaccines. But they're talking about it's made in a bio lab, that it's real, people are getting sick. They're still saying that. And the thing is they have the interconnections to hospitals and stuff. And that's why I say I just think they're misinformed about what people are really getting sick from. But maybe not. Maybe I'm misinformed. I just think that, people are getting sick for sure. Hospitals are supposedly, the ones in New York, from a source, they are overwhelmed. Funeral homes are overwhelmed. They are having more people die in New York. Like, the funeral homes are getting more people. But like I said, I think they are intentionally, this is an intentional sabotage to our country, and that they are purposely not treating people with chronic ill conditions, and therefore they're marking it COVID-19 when it really isn't. And everyone that passes is old. So what I mean is, like, all these old people have chronic conditions, medications are on, and they're purposely, yes, purposely, according to that nurse, that white nurse we walked, the white girl a couple weeks ago, that Kelly Keep sent me a couple days ago. She has a friend in the hospital, and you heard what she said. You heard what that lady said, and that is where I'm coming from when I say that. But however, that's not the focus right now, guys. Let's just forget about that part. Let's focus on what you just heard, that they already have a vax. You heard the hot mic inside the White House briefing room, and you heard the reporters openly say that they all have been vaccinated already, that the dude can take his mask off. You heard him. Matter of fact,
All right, man. What do you know, baby? You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to USC. Is it really? That's reassuring. USC. Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway. USC and LA County Public Health come out with a study. They found that there are 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected. Really? Yeah. So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3. Does a study to come out with? Yeah, just give it to them. So it suggests the case fatality rate is 10. Wow. What's your right line with the flu? Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So it was a hoax. I don't think it was a hoax.
it's a hoax, buddy. It's a hoax. Okay, there you go. So, links will be in the description. Share this information around. This is vital information. We're not done yet. Howdy, y'all. What's going on, guys? Hey, man. I hope you enjoyed the video thus far, and I hope you stayed up to this point, man. I hope you, enjoyed entertainment purposes for whatever, you want to take that for, the predictive programming part. But I really hope you watched that and seen the message I was trying to deliver to you. What's crazy is that how sheep died, 33 sheep, and in the verse 13:33, for we know not when the end will come, right? C chapter 13, V verse 33, C Corona V, you know what I'm saying. So guys, I really hope that you understand where I was coming from, what I'm trying to show you in that, and then everything from real life, what who said, everything you've seen thus far, okay. And I really hope that you hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. But more so, I really hope you share this to someone you love, someone you care about. Let them know. Tell them this shot that's going to come out. You heard Dr. Neptune and Baker. Take it from the doctors, but you don't have to trust me or the doctors. Go to Project 180 and go on your own rabbit hole of researching it. The other ones, forget just the CV one that's going to come out, but you need to really think about it and educate yourself on vaccines before you take that shot. But educate yourself on all of them. Look at all the kids with autism and stuff, man. I'm not just doing this for shits and giggles, man. It's 1:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just do this for shits and giggles, man. Like, I just want to help people, and I just don't want people to get sick. What I think is going to happen is people are going to take the shot, just like the doctor said. People are going to take the shot, and then they're going to get sick. Look, there's no virus that's airborne. Dude, do the research. There is no airborne virus. And the lady that you heard from tonight in this video, she said it out of her own mouth that the CV is not airborne. The lady from WHO said that. So let that go. It's not airborne. Wear a mask. None of it makes sense. Plus, wear a mask lowers your immune system. So come on, man. Educate yourself. You don't gotta trust me. Educate yourself. Share the video. Wake someone up. Give it to someone you love. Okay. And like I said, just I don't know what else I was about to say. But a couple quick things I just want to show you really quick is this stuff right here. Okay, Armed Forces Health Surveillance Badge. Everything is going to be in the comment section pinned. I'll give you all these links. Okay, Armed Forces Health Surveillance Branch. They're taking it very serious about, and I know they say they always did medical surveillance, but this is a new type of medical surveillance with the contact tracing, watching where you go through your phone's location. Okay, this is a lot more than watching who's sick and watching a disease spreading. You better believe it. Educate yourself on it. Don't trust me. Don't take my word. Educate yourself, baby. Defense Medical Surveillance System. Okay, Global Emergent Infectious Surveillance. Global Emergent. Okay, educate yourself, baby. I ain't making this stuff up. I just want to wake the world up, man. I just want to save some souls because this is a spiritual war and these people want to take you to hell. Remember that. It's a spiritual war. It's not flesh on flesh. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm doing this for God. I'm doing this for humanity. And I'm trying to make a generational impact because I'm thinking about the kids, man. That our kids and our grandkids are going to be enslaved to a very sick beast system, worse than we are now. You better believe it. And we ain't never going back normal. You heard the lady. They are not, this is not over. The lady from WHO. So if you're one of the people that listen to mainstream media and listen to everything WHO say, then how are you going to say it's over when the lady from WHO said it's far from being over? Alright? And remember, Event 201 said that the pandemic exercise predicted that we would open up too early and then it would be catastrophic. Okay, over here, my boy TJ, brother TJ, Char, brother, keep your head up, man. You know we got your back in America. We love you over there in New Zealand. Brother TJ put this out in the Discord, so I want to show you guys over in his area. Contact tracing, CV news, police state surveillance. Warning you to Big Brother. New Zealand considers spending $100 million on a contact tracing COVID card. Okay, $100 million. They'll leave people sick. They'll keep putting drugs in neighborhoods. They'll keep drug addicts on the street. They won't let people in rehab. It goes on and on and on. Poverty, hunger, closing down major meat processors. But they'll put $100 million to contact trace you, invade your privacy, and invade every single right you thought you had. Because you don't got them until you fight for them. You gotta fight for your right to be a American or to be a free man. Woo! Let's go, baby! Let's see how long this is. Maybe I'll just read it to you guys real quick. Okay, let's read real quick. Contact tracing card. The new repackaged Big Brother is probably coming to a place near you. Your corporation is just considering it in mind that is code for done deal. Remember, this article on the microchip ID, citing New Zealand author, the late Barry Smith. Funny, we just did that video last night about the microchip, the human microchip. And if you missed it, go watch it. You got the predictive programming on the backup channel, Shadowban TV. Right now, it's the most latest video. And you got the live stream from last night on this channel. Make sure you check that out. Share it around too, but please share this video and please come drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Am I reaching? Am I giving it too solid? Am I keeping it real with you? Am I telling you really how it is? Let me know what you think on the V's. What's your opinion on them? Are you going to take it? I want to know what you guys are going to do. Right now, how do you feel about this? If they say it's a forced vaccination, are you going to cooperate? I'm really interested to know where your guys' head is on that. So let me know. Me, I'm not. I will die first. I'll go to FEMA camp. I don't care what they'll do. But I'm not. They're not forcing me to do anything medically. Eat a pill. Take never, ever. All right. I promise you that. They can televise it. Remember the dude they forced down in hospital? The revolution will be televised, baby. That's my boy. And the first image below here, John Citizen, it appeared interestingly in an Australian newspaper in 1984, COVID 1984, with no explanation following the intro image in 1983. At the time, Henry Kissinger, oh man, who called recently Henry Kissinger, who gave Bill Gates the eugenics and vaccination agenda for global government to manage the COVID pandemic, with an Australian discussing the introduction of FPOS. Curious to say the least, all info in the article. Note, the Fabian socialist, aka globalist, modus operandi is to introduce the idea package as we might or we're considering that gets the idea into your head. Then when they do it, you're already warmed to it. Note, particularly in the article, that Jenny Shipley flatly denied in 91 that New Zealand was considering a universal smart card, debunked by David Lange, who said he'd seen it and they'd been working on it all the time for 4 years. You really can't trust our politicians to tell the truth. Honestly, they're all under the thumb of globalism, and we got our photo ID in 1999, 3 sixes, and the end of the photo driver's licenses. So one pandemic has achieved total worldwide surveillance already, not to mention police state-like control. I'm sure there's more to come. Remember this incident last year on surveillance and spying. They were spying on the Environmental Watch charging ICL. If you follow this site for some time, you will get my drift. If you do not read the links above the publicly, if not, do read at the links above on the publicly announced New World Order, George Bush Sr. 1991, a well-documented, and Agenda 21, now 2030, both in the main menu. And New Zealand, the Guinea Pig County, Agenda 2130, New ZEWR. Like I said, all this stuff will be in the description, guys. And last but not least, second to last but not least, this is what I was telling you guys last night. Trump betting millions to lay the groundwork for quantum internet in the United States. Quantum computer, which goes hands in hand with the quantum dots for the vax. All right, and I told you they want to like put our blood into a quantum computer with this vax, and I think that's about DNA and stuff. I don't know for sure. That's my opinion. And then, guys, last thing I just want to show you is this. Oregon County enforces segregation during the scamdemic, designates special grounding space for minorities to escape whiteness. Yes, I read this. This will also be pinned in the comment section of this video. Yes, do you see the shit that they're doing? They are trying to force a civil war between us. They want us to bump heads. They want us to divide so they can essentially conquer, okay? Ultimately is what I meant to say. Look, I love you guys, man. I'm praying for you guys, man. Pray for me in return. I appreciate that, man. We'll get back at it tomorrow. I'm not going to go live tonight. It's too late right now. I'm working on this video for a while now. But, man, give me a thumbs up if you want. Hit the thumbs down if you're a troll or you're a hater. It really doesn't matter. Both help the video. Give me a comment on what I asked you about. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you're going to take this shot, man. I want to know where you guys are at with it. You know what I mean? So I can try to talk to you. If you do, when it comes down to it, you're your own man or woman. You're going to do what you want to do. And that's that. Me, I will die first. They're not forcing me to do anything that I don't want to do. It's never going to happen. It doesn't matter what type of authority or world we live in, because I'll be in the afterlife. It won't happen to me. And I'm not a tough guy, I'm not a hard ass, but I do have morals. I have a huge moral compass, and I'm founded morally. And I have principles in life that I live by, and that's something I'm not with. You're not going to cross that line with me. But I love you guys. I'll be praying for you, man. Give me a like button. Share it to someone you love, man. This is Iggy from Shadow Band Studios, Shadow Band Productions, checking out.